I was the intended victim of a scam using my son's voice.
Go watch that video in its entirety. It's fairly long, because he's giving testimony, talking about, I don't think testimony's right word, but he's talking about what happened to him. He's almost scammed because they're using AI voices now to make it sound like you're a family member a family member is in danger and they need your help and you got to send money to help them and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, the scam's not new. It's had different formations around, and it's been around for a while. This is why people have long been told now, and you may not have heard this. I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't, because a lot of the tech advice out there about how to avoid scams is either ignored, not heard, or doesn't get around fast enough. But basically, if you get a phone call from a number you don't recognize and you answer it, some people do that, and you hear like a little blip at the beginning, they usually accuse you to say something, and then they'll take your voice and they'll use it to manipulate other people. They'll get a little bit of your voice and they'll try to record what you're saying. There's different methods. That's a really stripped down version, but that's one of the versions of that. With the advent of social media platforms like this, it's easy to get somebody's voice and use it against somebody. But there are very basic things to do when something like this happens to prep yourself for, and people need to know, I'm going to tell you what you should be doing here to get yourself ready for this. So please share this around so people can become more aware. You need to be doing something that's very old fashioned. When I was a kid, I was always told that if a stranger tried to pick me up, now I grew up in California partially, so much bigger area, but I was always told that if somebody tried to pick me up, they should know a passcode, a secret code or a passcode, just a word, a phrase, a secure phrase between family members. And so I'd have that. And that way, when the person would say, hey, such and such, your mom told me to pick you up, so I'm just here to pick you up, stranger danger. You'd say, okay, fine. What's the password? What's the passcode? And that helped. Didn't mean you wouldn't be kidnapped necessarily, but at least you would have some kind of warning. Something simple like that, an old-fashioned method, which old-fashioned methods are sometimes the best, sometimes, would save people a lot of trouble. I don't care how much danger the person says they're in. That's simple enough. They should be able to answer that. And it should be really simple as, hey, I'm in danger. I need your help. Great. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. But before we get to there, what is the passphrase? That's going to stop pretty much any scammer from getting to you. Because their ability to record, process, and guess that is going to be near impossible. I mean, I guess there's theoretically a possibility, but it's going to be pretty far out there. This is what you need to do. And if you're going to be traveling, let your family know. The traveling scams are a big thing. When I worked at the school, we had a teacher call and said, hey, you gotta stop taking calls from me, that kind of thing. They warned us because they were having a lot of issues where they had gone overseas and then somebody had got a hold of information, was scamming. And so they were just calling everybody, their job, their parents, their family, the whole thing. And it's real simple. If you're traveling someplace, have that passcode set up and tell your immediate family, hey, I'm traveling. I'm going to be going here on vacation. Here's where I can be reached at. Like, a lot of these basic steps that used to be in play just seem to be non-existent now. And something as simple as just a passphrase that you and your family know only, even randomize it up. Say, I'm going over for the weekend. Here's the passphrase for the weekend. If I call and say I'm in danger and I don't have that, it's simple enough that it can be done. There are so many other things that are really simple, and people get scammed so easily. Most people do not have the savvy to be able to help themselves, and it really is ridiculous because it's so easy to prevent these things from happening. The apathy that I've encountered working IT with people that get scammed, the apathy that has prevented them from getting scammed is ridiculous. I mean, just simple things like not using simple passwords, but people are just lazy at it, and they end up getting a ransomware attack or something. I mean, we used to tell people all the time, don't open attachments to emails you don't know who they're from, and they do, and then an entire company is taken down because they just don't pay attention to basic things. The company I used to work for, they used to brag about how they were just so good at not getting ransomware, and then they got hit by ransomware, and then I got like free data recovery for like a year. Like, that's that's great and all, but it doesn't help after something's already happened. I have the unfortunate fact of knowing now that I have no recourse in the fact that my previous employer got hit with ransomware and my employment details are now leaked out someplace. Now, granted, the monitoring didn't find anything, but that doesn't mean it's not there. It's still something I have to worry about now. But there are some simple things you can do. If you guys have any questions, as I've always put in my videos when I talk about tech stuff, I've done IT support, frontline IT support, tier 1, tier 2, how to deal with people on phone, in person, dealing with stuff like this, as well as general customer service issues in IT. If you have any questions on these or other scams, let me know. I'll be glad to answer as best I can and give you some tips to maybe not get scammed during the holiday season and otherwise. But please be careful and please pay close attention to what's going on. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't really like computers too much. You have to know this stuff, whether you like computers or not. It's going to be used against you. The technology will be used against you, and being ignorant of it is not going to help you, unfortunately. Please educate yourselves.